senior official in the Israeli military. Okay, they definitely did not intervene in any way, shape, or form. This guy definitely didn't immediately call the Israeli consulate. That definitely didn't immediately call the sheriff's office and the local mayor. Definitely not. This definitely never happened.
Unconditional release after posting bail.
Look at me. I am the owner of this beautiful, beautiful bridge. If you want to buy it for only 5 gift subs, I will literally mail it to your house right now. Okay? I own this bridge, and it is for sale, and it is for you for 5 gift subs, or I can give you 2 bridges for 10 gift subs. Right now, buy it while it's still on sale, while we still believe fictional stuff, while we're still pretending to have our eyes closed and our ears.
Bail is standard procedure with this specific charge. But there is some evidence pointing to potential special treatment from the U.S. government here. And this is an ongoing story, so things could change. But what we know right now is very troubling. So first, in order...
Was the second bridge, the one in New York. I'm selling the second bridge, the one in New York. I also own it. We're a long family of bridge builders. We build the 2 bridges. Me and my cousin Roman. We go and we build bridge. One bridge government give to us because they say very good. Second bridge they give to us because they say you make first bridge really, really pretty. Da.
For restrictions to be imposed on travel, a criminal complaint must...
Nobody wants to buy bridge, you guys. Fucking weird. Do you not want entire bridge in apartment? You fucking crazy. Completely crazy. Completely crazy.
Be filed with a court, and sources close...
You already have bridge, squirrel pig? Oh, God damn it. You can always have more bridges. Da, you have more bridges.
To the case say that out of the 8 suspects that were jailed, Alexandrovich was the only one that did not receive a criminal complaint filing. He never interacted with the judge, and it kept the door open for his flight, which he obviously took. The court documents also show that Alexandrovich was interviewed by both the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, meaning that federal agents were aware of who he was, that he was an Israeli official visiting the U.S. and an obvious potential flight risk, but they let him off anyway.
Cynical Chris. Which bridge you want? You want bridge in Francisco or bridge in New York? I give right now. But first, we go bowling. Which bridge? Tell me now, my brother.
Anyways, which is
thank you very much.
Especially odd considering that posting bail is not an automatic process.
Either one is good. I give San Francisco one. It is very long. Okay? It will destroy San Francisco, which is already a destroyed city. They will not miss it. They already have no infrastructure there. Da.
Several factors are usually taken into account, and is this person booked on a flight leaving the country 2 days from now would normally be one of those factors. The other strange thing here is that the top U.S. federal prosecutor in Nevada confirmed that her office is leaving the case to local authorities and mentioned nothing about a federal investigation, which is an issue, obviously, when the guy left the country. You know, local authorities can't really do much.
It's completely insane. You catch an actual fucking predator, pedophile, and you let him go the next day. No bail, no nothing. Guys, the Israeli embassy didn't give them a call. I'm sure. You know, next time you guys commit a crime and you happen not to be a senior official of the Israeli intelligence, Army intelligence department, they're going to let you go too.
About a guy that's in Israel. This greatly raises the possibility that he just doesn't come back. The date is set for the 27th of August, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But that prosecutor, whose name is Sigal Shatta, also happens to be a Trump-appointed far-right racist who's called her black political opponents hood rats, monkeys, and ghetto, and called for them to be lynched, and has been deemed unfit for office by a bipartisan coalition of over 100 judges. Most relevant to this story, though, is that not only does she hate black people, she also hates Palestinians and is a fanatical genocidal Zionist supporter of Israel, the country in which she was born. Before she deleted her Twitter account just days ago, you could find her on there calling for Gaza to be wiped off the map and calling the entire population there terrorists and animals. After deleting the account, she started posting on a new one, blaming the Israeli alleged pedophile Alexandrovich's escape back to Israel on liberals. A liberal district attorney and state court judge in Nevada failed to require an alleged child molester to surrender his passport, which allowed him to flee our country. The attorney general just called me outraged, and she also called the FBI director. The individual who fled our country should have had his passport seized by the state authorities. He must be returned immediately to face justice.
The radical left is burning down our country and attacking Jews in the streets, and Ilhan Omar is fanning the flames.
Whoa, bro. Somebody give that editor a promotion like yesterday.
I'm Sigal Chattah, an Israeli-born lawyer running to be America's #1 conservative attorney general.
Now, this story is getting barely any coverage, from mainstream Western outlets at least. There's a big list of news outlets that have covered this story, and notably absent from it are the largest outlets in the West, like the New York Times, the Washington Post, BBC, NBC, the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, CNN. None of them have covered this story. It's pretty crazy, to be honest. Like, just imagine if this were a Russian official accused of sex crimes against children being released with potentially U.S. government assistance and allowed to return to Russia. This would be a front page story on all of these outlets. This is something I was able to see with Ground News, which happens to be the sponsor of
Damn, in an 8-minute video, I respect the grind.
today's video. Ground News is a platform that has a bunch of helpful tools for identifying media bias and, in this case, selective coverage. Interestingly, one place it is getting a lot of coverage is in Israel. Israeli outlets like Haaretz, Ynet, the Jerusalem Post, and the Times of Israel have all done stories on it. The Israeli media being more honest about unflattering stories involving Israel has been a theme of the last 2 years of Israel's genocide in Gaza. Haaretz has reported on stories like the Hannibal Directive, which was Israel's order resulting in the killing of a significant number of its own civilians on October 7th, and the Gaza killing fields, which is the daily IDF-backed massacres at U.S. government-contracted so-called humanitarian aid sites. Outlets like the New York Times have routinely whitewashed or just not covered these sorts of stories. Go to ground.news/Noah to stay fully informed and see through the bias. Save 40% for unlimited access to the Vantage plan through my link this month only. Another thing you'll notice is that this story is getting a lot of right-wing coverage, and that's coming from the surge in anti-Trump, right-wing, anti-Israel people. Marjorie Taylor Greene, for example, she's a Nazi, she's an anti-Semite, but she's been really riding the wave of hatred towards Israel, rightfully placed hatred, given the whole genocide thing. But she's one of the loudest voices banging the drum about this story, along with various other anti-Semites that are covering the story in order to be racist towards Jewish people. The issue here is, of course, Israel and its relationship with the U.S., not Jewish people. And that conflation being made by anti-Semites is just a way to fuel that racist lie. But it's also a conflation made by supporters of Israel when they claim to represent all Jewish people, when they smear critics of the genocidal state as Jew haters, and when they literally rewrite the definition of anti-Semitism to include these slights against that genocidal state. There's a long history of Nazis helping sustain the Israeli project, and this is just the latest version of that. If it's anti-Semitic to protest genocide, then that means something about Jewish people, and Judaism is genocidal, which is, well, that's anti-Semitic, right? There is a precedent to what's happening here, which is accused child predators fleeing from the United States to Israel. A 2020 CBS investigation found that over 60 accused pedophiles...
Yeah, it's literally not the first time. It's not even the 10th time.
...have abused right of return laws to gain citizenship in Israel and avoid extradition to the states they're fleeing from. The organization tracking this has limited resources, so the true number is probably much higher than that. And there's been some pretty high-profile cases of this, like Malka Leifer, who was facing trial for 70 sex offense charges as the former principal of a Jewish religious school in Australia. She fled before a warrant could be issued and basically lived freely in Israel until 2021, so 13 years. In this case, there was alleged interference by Israeli officials. Israel's deputy health minister, Yaakov Litzman, was suspected to have helped prevent Leifer's extradition by pressuring doctors to falsify psychiatric...
This is what you get when you have a fucking ethno-state, where you genuinely believe that your people are superior to all other peoples, and even if one of your guys does a fucked up thing, he is still one of your guys, and you're going to do absolutely everything to protect them. Otherwise, you're going to be perceived as not taking care of your own, and taking care of your own is your whole ideological imperative. That's the whole pitch of a fucking ethno-state.
Valuations deeming Leifer unfit to stand trial. We know the Israeli officials are already lying by omission about Alexandrovich's alleged child sex crimes, but the extent of the U.S.'s involvement and the nature of a potential cover-up is still unknown. So we'll probably keep covering this, but for now, that's where the story is. And I don't know, crazier things have happened. I mean, they're fully supporting Israel in its current genocide bipartisanly. So in comparison, something like this is just a small favor for a close friend and ally and only democracy in the Middle East, Israel.
As Israel's strongest ally and friend, you put your arm around your friend when there's something like this going on and talk about what we're prepared to do together.
All right, that's it for the video. Just a quick one. Got a few big ones coming soon. They're just taking a little while to write. So tune into Chris Kunzler's stream Friday the 22nd, which maybe is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
We will all go together when we go. What a comforting fact that is to know. Universal bereavement.